All right, so get ready because we're diving into databases and SQL today.
Yeah,
We're going to try and make this fun and efficient.
definitely.
You've got some learning to do, it seems.
Just like it.
We're going to help you store, retrieve, and manipulate data.
Without getting too lost in the jargon.
Yeah, exactly.
Databases are really fascinating when you think about it. They're the backbone of so much in our world.
Yeah, that's true.
Websites,
Yeah.
apps, all sorts of financial transactions, even scientific research.
It all comes back to the data.
Yeah, and all that data is stored in these structured collections that we call databases.
I like structure.
Me too.
I love a good structure. So we'll be focusing specifically on relational databases today.
Okay.
They're organized really neatly into these tables.
Yes.
With rows and columns.
Like a spreadsheet.
Yeah, like a detailed spreadsheet, but way more powerful.
Way more powerful.
And the key to unlocking all that power is SQL.
SQL. Yeah.
It's this language that we can use to talk to databases and tell them what information we need. Don't worry, we'll break down the basic syntax for you.
Yeah, we'll keep it simple.
It's kind of like learning a few key phrases to get what you want.
Just the essentials.
You've even got some notes here about getting started with MySQL Workbench.
Oh, yeah.
We'll walk through that with you too.
For sure.
So by the end of this, you'll be querying like a pro.
Absolutely you will.
Okay, let's imagine we're running a business
Okay.
and we have tons of customer information.
Like names and addresses.
Yeah, and phone numbers, order history.
Got it.
It's scattered everywhere in spreadsheets, emails, notes.
That sounds like a mess.
It's a total mess.
Databases to the rescue.
That's right. Databases can save the day.
They really can.
What I think is fascinating about databases is that they bring order to all this chaos.
They do.
They let us store, organize, and retrieve all this information efficiently.
They really are like a giant, super organized filing cabinet for your data.
That's a great analogy.
Thanks.
And so it looks like you've been digging deep into the world of relational databases and SQL.
Yeah, I have.
Tell me more.
A relational database is like a spreadsheet, but it's on steroids.
Okay.
It's got tables with rows and columns.
Okay.
But the real magic is how you can link these tables together to represent relationships.
Relationships between the data.
Relationships between the data.
So like
Silly example.
instead of just having a list of customers,
Right.
we could have a table for their orders,
Yes.
a table for products, and then connect them all together to get the complete picture.
That's exactly right.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's all connected.
So for example, we could find all the customers who purchased a specific product in the last month
That's a good example.
by connecting the customer table, the order table, and the product table.
Exactly.
That is incredibly powerful.
It is.
But how do we actually talk to these databases?
That's a good question.
How do we get them to give us the information that we need?
That's where SQL comes in. SQL stands for Structured Query Language.
Okay.
It's like a set of instructions for the database.
Like commands.
Like commands. You don't need to learn complex programming.
That's a relief.
It's more like writing simple logical statements to get your questions answered.
So we could say something like,
Yeah.
hey, database, show me all the customers who live in this zip code and have made at least 5 purchases.
Yes, exactly. And the database would instantly give you a list of those customers.
Wow.
It's that easy.
Okay, so you also mentioned MySQL Workbench.
Right.
What is that, and how does it fit into all of this?
MySQL Workbench is like your command center for your databases.
Okay.
It's a free tool that you can use to write and run SQL queries.
Mm-hmm.
You can view the data and even design the database structure.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful.
So we could actually see SQL in action using MySQL Workbench.
Yes, absolutely.
How would that work?
Let's say you have a database with all your customers in it, and
Yeah.
you want to see the names and email addresses of all the customers who signed up in the last year.
I'm following.
You would use the select command in MySQL Workbench, and it would look something like this.
Oh.
Select customer name, email address from customers, where sign-up date is greater than or equal to 2024-01-13.
Wow, that was pretty technical.
It is a little bit.
But I can see how the logic works.
Yeah,
We're telling the database exactly what information we want.
exactly. And that's the beauty of SQL.
That's pretty cool.
It is.
What's remarkable to me is that with just a few lines of code, we can get such specific insights from our data.
You can.
And that can help us understand customer behavior,
Right.
identify trends, make better business decisions.
It's not just about storing the data. It's about making that data work for you,
Exactly.
getting the most out of it.
This has been really eye-opening.
It has.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm learning a lot.
Good. I'm glad.
And it makes me think, with the increasing amount of data being generated every day, What skills are going to be most valuable in the future?
That's a great question.
Is it going to be about mastering these technical tools like SQL,
Hmm.
or is it going to be more about understanding how to ask the right questions of our data?
That's a really interesting question, and it's probably a combination of both.
Yeah, I think.
I think you need to have those technical skills to be able to work with the data,
Hmm.
but it's also really important to be curious to ask questions, to be looking for patterns.
To be thinking critically.
Yeah, to be
Yeah.
thinking critically about what the data is telling you.
Because the data is only as valuable as our ability to understand it and apply it.
Exactly.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive
It has.
into the world of databases and SQL.
It really has.
For everyone listening, I want to leave you with a thought to ponder.
Okay.
Think of a website or an app that you use frequently.
Okay.
What kind of data do you think they're storing in their databases?
Good question.
And how might they be using SQL to manage and analyze all that information?
Something to think about.
Keep those brain gears turning.
Yeah, keep thinking.
Because the more you learn, the more you realize just how powerful these tools can be.
They really are powerful tools.
Thanks for joining us.
It was my pleasure.
We'll see you next time.
See you later.